We're good to go, guys. Okay, get your cameras on. Get your cameras on. I want to see your beautiful faces. Yes, I shaved. I look 14 again. I don't look like I live in a wild forest with wildebeest, but we're here. So if I can have my camera on, I need to see y'all's cameras because y'all are beautiful people and look a lot better than I do. And if good looks made you money, you know, I wouldn't be there. So let's get this started, guys. I'm excited. You know, I absolutely love the individual that we have speaking today. This is someone that I have an insane amount of respect for, and someone that I personally believe and feel like is the perfect individual to talk about the situation we're currently in, and that's massive momentum. You know, our team has grown, I believe, over 90,000 group volume in the past few months. You know, our promotion, I think we're a little bit under 250 accounts left, and teams are going crazy. We're having new P150s, new P600s. We have an individual right now that I believe is 17 away. After the call that he has right now will be 14 away from Platinum 5000. You know, we have leaders all across the board winning, customers winning. I've never seen QC have so many W's. I mean, in the market, in the building side, in the personal development, the growth side, the spiritual side, we're just in a place of growth. And I think it's because a lot of us have sacrificed everything to make it happen. A lot of, whether it's sacrifice of time with family, it's sacrifice of money for traveling, it's sacrifice of, you know, maybe things that you're really passionate about, having a temporary sacrifice to be able to do what you're passionate about forever. And it's because of that I asked this individual to get on the call. You know, this is someone that took me from when I was at my lowest point, and I guess in my entrepreneurial journey, took me under his wing and got me to where I'm at. This is an individual who's Chairman 50 at 23 years old, I believe, 23 or 24. I'm pretty sure 23 years old, who's been a six-figure earner now for years, for 3, 4, 5 years. This is someone that has really just taken on the industry at a young age and not cared about what anyone else has said. This is someone that has been all in, you know, really took Jim Rohn's line of, if you can survive for 5 to 10 years in this industry, you'll be wealthier than your wildest dreams. This is, you know, dorm room to millions. This is someone that, you know, it just blows my mind every single day of what they're capable of. And if you ever get the chance to be around this person and like be around them like for more than a couple hours, you're going to see why they have the rank they do, why they have the tens of thousands of people in their organization, why they're a sneeze away from, you know, Chairman 100. And it's super crazy to me because, you know, I could edify this person for literally 5 minutes and just talk about how crazy and how like amazed I am by just his work ethic and what he does and how he's able to speak and get people in the right direction. So I reached out to him over the weekend and said, you know, told him about what's going on and said, man, I would love for you to just really nail awareness, right? Take our level of awareness to the next level. Take our understanding of the place we're in, the next 90 days, the summer that we've been granted with everything that's going around in the world, and really show us and really explain why this is the time to go all in, why this is the time to go next level, and why it's possible for each and every single person watching this call. And so I don't want to talk long. We already been on the Zoom for a couple minutes now. We only have to the top of the hour because we have Matt Rosa, Chairman 750, in about 50 minutes. And I really just want to give this guy, my mentor, his space to speak. So, John, I'm going to step out the way of greatness. You have co-host, brother. I'm going to let you take over. And guys, you better have your notebooks out and your cameras on. If not, get off the call because what he's about to provide is literally going to change your business. So, John, you're in control, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What is good, everybody? Drop some 777s in the chat. Drop some 777s in the chat for yourselves for being on this call tonight. And also for Tim being on here and just giving you guys an immense amount of value, guys. Just drop some 777s. I know Tim literally like pours his heart and his soul out to you guys like every single day. And it's crazy because since the beginning, since, you know, me and Tim have been working with each other since like back in 2016, 2017, I remember just him being one of the most giving, one of the most humble, and just one of the most, how could I say, like fearless leaders in the entire business. And you guys are working with somebody who really truly cares about your success so much that he's willing to go and back and forth, you know, blood, sweat, and tears for your guys' success. So like I said, you know, you're working with somebody that really, really cares about you guys. So show a lot of love to my brother Tim. What I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about is like after the season of momentum. I appreciate Tim for kind of like talking a little bit about my story. I'm literally now officially cleared about 7 figures in the industry. And it's amazing. I mean, now looking back at the entire journey, I've never really thought that I'd clear 7 figures in the industry. In the beginning, it was like, I didn't really have depth of vision to know that some of the things would unravel the way that they unraveled. And what's insane is like they say you can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. Right. So it requires having an immense amount of leaps of faith, like an immense amount of faith, an immense amount of just vision and desire towards working something. And what we're going to kind of talk a little bit about, because I know Tim wanted me to kind of bring this up, was like the 90-day sprint and the importance of being able to really go out there and execute it. And I'll give you guys a prime example. We did a 90-day sprint for my team. It actually officially almost ends at the end of this entire month. And over the last 90 days, we've popped, I know 60 days, I didn't count this month yet, but we popped like over 50 Platinum 1000s. That was the specific group that I was working with, and, almost triple volume, which was amazing. But what I really noticed was, near the end of the 90-day sprint, some people tend to slow down. Near the end of the sprint, some people kind of give in the towel, and at the end of the day, I understand it's a marathon, right? I understand that, at the end of the day, you want to set your pace up correctly, but, it's a sprint for a reason. 90 days can actually dictate and literally transform your entire life. There's a quote when it comes to bodybuilding and a quote when it comes to personal training. And I always use this quote when it comes to building the business. It says in 30 days, you might see a personal change. Right? You might see the change. In 60 days, your friends might see the change around you. Your close friends might see either the mental change, the financial change, whatever change that is. But after 90 days, the world will see that change. And what I want people to really, truly understand when they're thinking about going on a 90-day sprint, that this sprint is something that, you have to fully commit to. Right? Trust me, guys, I was always taught growing in this entire business up, because I grew up in this business, like you either have to sacrifice what you love, or what you love will be the sacrifice at the end of the day. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice things that you love at the current moment in time right now, temporarily, in order to be able to gain the world and gain more out of that a little bit later. Because at the end of the day, if you look at any single person that had an immense amount of great success in this entire industry, not a single one of them didn't do it with a little bit of sacrifice. And I don't even like to use the word sacrifice, because at the end of the day, there's no such thing as sacrifice, but just investment, right? You're investing more into you. Instead of investing time into the TV, the television, you're investing time into your vision. Instead of investing time in the PS3, the PS4, the other stupid shit that other people are doing, you're investing more time into you. So you have to be able to identify the desires and the distractions that are holding you back from getting to the next level, and being able to put the distractions down. Okay. I always say that distractions exist not just in things, but they also exist in people. Man, I had to love a lot of people right before a 90-day sprint. I had to love and decide a lot of people. I was going to go out there and say, hey, listen, I'm going to love you, but I have to love you from a distance. Right? Because at the end of the day, right, I love my mom and dad to death, don't get me wrong, but they were the most negative freaking people in the world. I love my friends to death, don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, they were some of the most bummiest people in the world, right? I remember I loved hanging out with certain different other types of people to go party, go do all this crazy stuff, but I understood if I was going to embark on this journey, I was going to embark on this 90-day sprint, that there was no single-handed way possible that I could operate and move in the exact same way. That's just the truth of the matter. Right? I can't be doing the same shit. I can't be hanging around the same people, and I can't have the same ideas. And that's the next distraction that I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight. Right? Distractions, they don't just come in things. They don't just come in people, but they come in ideas. Right? What kind of ideas do you guys have right now that are no longer serving you a purpose? Like the idea of fear, bro. Like the idea of fear. Okay, I understand there is danger that does exist in the world. There is danger. Like if I'm going to go out there and literally look over a cliff, there's a certain amount of danger, but fear in itself is just an illusion. I see so many fucking people, dude, and I'm sorry for being a little bit too real, but at the end of the day, there's so many people that have the fear of failure, right? They have the fear of caring about what other people think. Like, if you're going to accept other people's opinions, you might as well accept the lifestyle of 99% of people in the world. And check this out, the world's not doing well right now, right? 90% of people are going to work paycheck to paycheck until the day that they fucking die, bro. Forbes came out with a statistic like that, like 2 years ago. 75% of people live paycheck to paycheck. 78% of the world, okay, has less than $500 in their bank account. So like, yo, like think about that type of stuff, man. Like, why would you care about what other people think about you? Why would you care about the fear of failure, the fear of rejection? Why do you truly care about that stuff? It's just an illusion. Like, you have to realize that. At the end of the day, all this stuff is just an illusion. So like, you know, when you're looking at all that different types of stuff, identify the distractions and the ideas that no longer serve you a purpose. And you got to get rid of them, bro. You got to evolve. In order for you to go out there and truly, you know, have the success that you want, you got to evolve, right? You got to evolve. You got to let go of the distractions, because at the end of the day, okay, you are a reflection of the distractions that you have on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and as I'm talking about distractions on this entire sprint, I'm going to talk about the desire. Okay, because obviously if we're going to embark on a 90-day sprint, if we're going to embark on something that's amazing, we have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We have to identify what is it that we're working towards at the end of this entire tunnel. And at the end of this entire tunnel, what I would be working towards, okay, is whatever you believe, okay, you true-hearted, cold-heartedly, warm-heartedly want. Okay, and make that desire, that end goal at the 90-day goal, okay, be a vision, not just a goal. Okay, sorry guys, I've been having way too many energy drinks, as you can tell. Okay. Okay, but at the end of the day, make that end result, okay, not just a goal, but make it your vision. Okay, because at the end of the day, guys, I always say this, right? A goal is just an idea, but a vision is a reality. Okay, I'll say that one more time. A goal is just an idea, but a vision is an actual reality, a grand scheme reality of the future. And you must know what that vision looks like. You must know what it smells like. You must know what it tastes like. If you're going to do that, can we do it right here? You must know what it smells like. You must know what it tastes like. You must know what it feels like. That is what you need. You need a vision of the future. Too many times people don't really have any type of sort of depth of vision when it comes to going out there and doing this entire thing, guys. Okay, so what I recommend to every single person right now, I'm sorry guys, he's trying to film and it's kind of distracting me for a little bit. But what I recommend for every single person here right now is to identify what that vision of the future is. Because if you don't have a clear course vision of the future, that's like you hopping on a plane without an end destination on it. Okay. What is that end destination that you're going towards? What is that? And I want you guys to shift, like I said, shift that thinking pattern behind whatever desire that you have is just a goal. It cannot be a goal. It has to be a vision. It has to be something that you live with. It has to be something that you identify with so strongly, okay, to the point where you believe the reality that you live in today is a lie. Okay, that reality is your truth. That is what I recommend to every single person here. Okay, is to understand that. The final thing that I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about, and then we're going to do the quick announcements, is being able to have massive depth of vision. You know, I talk about this all the time on certain different types of calls. I talk about depth of vision of the future. And I like to bring up certain ideas of like the idea of an iPhone, the idea of the Wright brothers being able to go out there and be the first people to ever make man fly. We could talk about the idea of electricity. All these different types of things, is these ideas, okay, were at one point in time just a thought, an idea, that idea became a vision of multiple different people that were able to go out there and believe in the impossible, right? So I want you guys, like I said, to believe bigger, a lot faster, and I want you guys to believe, okay, and have a clear-cut vision of the future. Like the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers didn't have that many resources, okay? Other people had way more funding. Other people were intellectually smarter on fucking paper, but you know what happened? The Wright brothers said, no, we will make men fly. Other people may be smarter. They might have more talent than us. Okay, they might have to do X, Y, and Z, but we're going to make men fly. And at the end of the day, that desire was so clear cut, right, that they were able to go out there and make men fly. You know, I need you guys to grow a burning desire for whatever it is that you want. Okay, some of you guys want this shit to happen for you. I'm just being honest. You want this shit to happen for you. Okay, I didn't want it to happen for me. I needed it for it to happen to me, right? I didn't want to have or make $1 million. I needed to make $1 million, right? And that's why I hit $1 million. Like a lot of people think like, yo, like if I go out there, I do my 2 calls a day, like if I do my, 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day in my business, that I'm going to have success. Okay, yes, you're going to have a little bit of success, but dude, like on a 90-day sprint, bro, like I'll tell you right now,
If I'm outworking you and I'm not even doing it for money anymore, we have a fucking problem, bro. We have a fucking problem. Okay, if Tim is outworking you and Tim is making 10 grand a month, how in the fucking world are you not working as hard as Tim is if he's making the most amount of money? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just going to be just honest and real with some people on the call, because at the end of the day, there's a difference between a want and a need, right? And the moment that you make this your need, that's it. That's the game changer. That is what like differentiates everything. Okay. And I'm just going to be real blunt, honest, and raw, because a lot of people don't say this to you guys, but this is like what I've realized, right, over the last couple of years. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is depth of vision. Right. So depth of vision of the future. Okay. A lot of people don't have depth of vision. You know, when I was in college, I realized that people didn't have depth of vision. I didn't even understand what depth of vision was, but I read it in books and I started to understand it. So depth of vision, let me give you a prime example of what happened and what I learned. So I read this in a book somewhere where they talk about the acorn experiment. So they actually did an experiment in the 1950s. I'll give you guys a prime example of how this experiment worked. They did an experiment in the 1950s. And what they did was they had a teacher come into a class of 50 students. Okay. And this teacher went into the class in 50 students, and they gave the teacher an acorn, right? And they wanted to do this experiment, not with kids, because it was kids like ages 7 to 10. They wanted to do it with adults. But the problem with adults is they're so programmed negatively that they couldn't do it with adults. So they're like, we're going to do it with 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds. And they were trying to go out there and actually measure their depth of vision, how far they could see. And the teacher asked the entire classroom, hey, listen, you know, there's an acorn right here, students, you know, class, I want you to tell me, what do you guys see? You know, and the teacher went to one of the students and was like, what do you see? And one of the girls was like, I don't really see anything. You know, I just see like an acorn. Like I just see an acorn. And then the teacher went to another student. What do you see? The other person was like, I don't really see anything. I see like a throwing toy with the acorn, tried to throw the acorn. The teacher went to another student, and the student was like, tried to bite the acorn, tried to eat the acorn. The teacher went to another student, and the other student was like, I don't really understand the experiment. I don't really know. I don't really know. I just see an acorn. And then, you know, she went to over 40 plus different people that were on the call. I mean, that were in the entire room. And what happened was something crazy. You know, the moment she went to like around 42 or the 43rd person, right, there was somebody there, right, that literally said, hey, I see a tree, right? And the teacher stopped that person for a second and was like, hey, wait, that child was like, what do you see? And she said, I see a tree. And I see a tree that's so large, right, that there's acorns coming down on it. So then the teacher tried to push the student to elaborate a little bit more on that tree. What kind of tree is it? Does it have, you know, branches? What do the leaves look like? What do the roots look like? And the crazy part about this entire experiment was, you know, as the teacher pushed the child to kind of elaborate on the acorn, on the acorn tree, you know, the student described every single piece down to the point of what the roots would look like, to the point where that student can no longer describe it anymore. You know, and as that happened, the teacher went back to the student and said, hey, listen, you know, you're doing amazing. You know, you're on the right path, but I don't just see a tree, I see a forest, right? And I see a forest that's so large, right? So large that it goes as far as my eyes can see. And this forest is so big that there's literally branches that are being cut, okay, in order to go out there and actually house people, okay, from this entire forest. Okay, there's branches that are being cut to go house people from this entire forest. And it all stemmed from this one acorn. So what I always tell every single person here with the story of the acorn is to understand that in itself, you got to really realize that the acorn is an analogy for everything in our entire life. It is an analogy for every action that we take, and it is an analogy for every adversity that we go through. Okay, guys, you know, there's that quote that says, "In every adversity is a seed of an equal or greater benefit." I tell my team this all the fucking time. And every adversity is a seed of an equal or greater benefit. Nothing in nature actually dies, it just evolves. Okay? You look at nature, nature never takes away. Nothing ever dies. It just evolves, right? It's just a transfer of energy. And nature replaces it with something of greater value or more. Just like this, if people quit your business, fuck them. Okay? Who cares? Okay? When people want to leave the business, fuck them. Who cares? If people want to go to another team, fuck it. Who cares? People want to go do this, fuck it. Who cares? Bad people need to leave your team for better people to come in. This is the truth. Okay, you lose a trade, fuck it. Who cares? Stop thinking about, stop thinking about the losing trades. Stop asking, why did this happen to me versus what can I learn from it? You know what I mean? Like, you know, you had to lose those 2-3 trades in order to go out there and get better trades. You know what I mean? In order to be able to go out there and win the other trades. So like my biggest tip and advice for every single person here is just understand that the seed is literally, okay, an analogy for our actions. Okay, how much time we put into something. Check this out, guys. I am still reaping the rewards from the seeds that I planted in 2014, 2013, 2015, 2016, when I was dead fucking broke, living in a dorm room, only making $150 a week. Okay, I remember specifically, I was still I was reading books. I had read over 20 books in a year, and I realized that I was smart in here, but the money just hadn't come up yet. Okay, I was wealthy in here, but the money didn't come up yet, right? But now I had to go out there and take the action. So my biggest tip and advice, guys, just understand that everything you guys do in a day-to-day basis is going to plant the seed, okay? And you have to go out there and do what you need to do on a consistent basis in order for you to reap that reward, okay? In order for you to reap that reward. Now, if we're talking about your actions, like you planting seeds, what has to happen for a seed to grow? Okay, it needs sunlight, it needs nutrients, it needs water. That's just the truth, right? It needs water, it needs sunlight, it needs nutrients. The sunlight is an analogy, okay, for your attitude. What kind of attitude do you have in this entire business? What kind of attitude? Do you have a good attitude or do you have a bad attitude? What is your attitude? Attitude is everything, bro. Like I said, the moment that you think it's over for you, that's your perception. The moment you think it's just begun, that's your perception. So are you positive or are you negative towards everything that happens in your business? Right? Like, ask yourself that question. What's your attitude? What is your attitude? Okay. Are you positive or negative towards every single thing that happened in the business? Okay. What is your attitude? Number two, the consistency, the water, it has to be watered every single day. That is an analogy for your consistency. How consistent are you? You can't fucking expect to go out there and get 6-figure results, okay, with a 1-day work ethic. You can't. You can't do that, okay? If you're going to work 1 day out of the week, like, dude, like, you're playing yourself. Don't expect massive results. Don't expect that, okay? So for the seed, right, the sunlight is an analogy for your attitude. The water is an analogy for your consistency, and the nutrients is it's an analogy for your personal development. What kind of books are you reading? Shout out to Morton. He gave me this one, right? I'm also reading The Richest Man in Babylon. But like, yo, are you investing into you? Or, you know, before you can pour into anybody else, you have to pour into yourself. That's just the truth of the matter. You know, before you can pour into anybody, you have to pour into yourself. So how are you doing that? Let me ask you guys that. How are you going out there and doing that? So shift your perspective on this entire thing, guys. Like, if you really want to go out there and make it happen, like, don't just have it be a want, have it be a need. I always had to have this business be a need, right? And that's why I treated it like that, right? So what I want to do tonight, guys, right, is, like I said, have depth of vision. Be able to measure. Not everybody's gifted with depth of vision, right? I wasn't gifted with it. I had to learn it. But when I saw $30 in my trading account, I'll never forget the moment. When I literally made $30 trading, it wasn't like I made $30 trading. It was like I made $30,000 trading. I remember going into my dorm room, and I remember telling every single person in my dorm room and telling them, hey, listen, I just made $30 trading. I was freaking out. It's like I think I was more excited then than when I was than when I hit Chairman 10. It was crazy. I was so excited because, and my friends looked at me like, yo, bro, you're crazy, bro. Like, what are you like? It's just $30. I could make more money working at McDonald's. I'll never forget that line. I can make more money working at McDonald's. But this was the thing. I told my friends, I'm like, bro, it's not about the $30. You know, I don't see $30. I see $300. I see $3,000. And all that came true. All that came true. I remember when I was only making $2,000 a month and my own, which was pretty great. It's great. But I remember I was dropping out of school and I was making $2,000 a month, and my own mom, my own friends, my own family were like, yo, bro, I can make more money here. I could do this. I could do that. It's more money. It's more money. It's more money. I'm like, bro, it's not about the $2,000 that I'm going to be making every single month, dude. You think I'm going to stop here? It's not about the $2,000, okay? It's about the $2,000 that I'll be making every single day residually, and the multiple people that we're going to go out there and actually have, okay? And it's crazy. 2 years later, it happened. 2.5 years later, it happened. You see what I'm saying, guys? So it's like, you got to look forward. You got to look forward. You cannot look backwards. You have to look far beyond. You have to expand your vision of the entire future. I've been talking about this, you know, I don't know what it is. Like vision has just come up to me a lot over the last couple of weeks. And I think it's something that a lot of people need to expand on because they think too small, they think too early. Okay. And they just want to, you know, think of where they are today, you know, and, you know, if you want to have a goal, you want to elevate and extend that goal. You want to always extend that goal and extend that vision for whatever it is that you have for yourself. Right. So that's the last thing I kind of wanted to kind of talk a little bit about tonight. We are running a promotion. So if you're excited about that, drop some 777s in the chat room. If you are excited about a promotion, we are running a promotion. 777s in the chat room, right? 777s in the chat room. Drop some 777s if you're excited about what promotion we're about to run. Tim, do you want me to announce it or you got it, bro?
They already know the promotion.
Oh, they already know. They already know the promotion. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I thought you guys like were just about to announce it. Okay, sick. So yeah, you know, obviously to get started today, you guys have it at a discounted price. You know what I mean? Not a lot of teams will go out there and do that for their own team. You know, go out there and take advantage of that. Take advantage of it, dude. Take advantage of the blessings that you have today in order to go out there and really roll with this entire thing. That's just my biggest tip and advice, guys. All right, think a lot bigger, a lot faster. Go out there and take massive action. Right? 3 days of knowledge and information outweigh 3 months of, 3 days of massive action outweigh 3 months of knowledge and information. So I guarantee you guys, like, dude, like you're working with the right type of people. All success is just repetition, nothing less, but just more of what you're doing right now. So appreciate you guys. I'm going to pass it back to Tim. Take it away, Tim, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
I appreciate you, and it blows my mind, and I think John can attest to this, and I'm not going to stay on very long. You know, I think that these webinars where they're just short, sweet, blunt, to the point, and John, I wish you could see our chats right now. They're blowing up, and people are talking smack to those who are missing it, but I hope you're watching the recording. You know, where we were in 2016, you know, less than $1 million company. We educated only in English. We had 3 educators. You know, there was barely go live, less than 1,000 people. It was really nothing. The education wasn't that good, but we believed, you know, we had depth of vision in 2016 that this company was going to go to $1 billion. We didn't know when, we didn't know how, but we knew why. And we knew it was because that we had the right people and we were doing the right things. And if we were just consistent enough, we were going to get that result. You know, on a grand scale of things. Now we're at $500 million, almost 300,000 customers, 15 different educational languages, Forex, cryptos, high frequencies, e-commerce coming out in September, right? And I ask the question to people all the time, would you invest in Apple if you knew what Apple was 10 years ago? Would you invest in Bitcoin if you knew what Bitcoin was 10 years ago? Would you invest in Amazon if you knew what Amazon was 10 years ago? And so I ask you, would you invest in yourself if you knew truly what you have right in front of you and where this is going 10 years from now? Because in 2030, you'd be surprised. Most people will probably be in the same position they're in today. That's the honest truth. A change of a decade doesn't change a person. It's the decision that changes a person. It's that commitment to that decision. It's having that depth of vision to see your worthy ideal fully accomplished. And here's the funniest part. Nothing really ever gets accomplished because as you begin to grow through your journey, you only desire more, right? I remember in 2016 or early 2017 when I started building the business, I used to think that 500 people was insane. Now I have one leg that has almost 800 people in it. Now my goal is to create 10 chairmen by the end of the year, where I was so focused for 3 years just to create 1 chairman, right? So over time, things are going to change. So become aware of what you have, right? Because guys, there's only about 200 accounts left on this promo. It ends in 7 days. Are you going to take advantage of it? You know, will we run stuff like this in the future again? Of course. But will the future look like what you have right now? Probably not, right? Probably not. And so I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'll leave you with that. We have Matt Rosa in 22 minutes. And I really want you to ponder, where do I want to be in the next 90 days? You know, what do we say? What does my next era look like? What does it sound like, feel like, taste like? You know, what does it smell like? You know, what are my goals? What are my vision? Why am I doing it? What inspires me? right? Really think about those things moving forward, because guys, July 1st is halfway through 2020. And are you even close to where you wanted to be for your goal from January 1st? So with that being said, really ponder on that. John, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much for hopping on this call, especially with having Matt Rosa in 20 minutes. Guys, I'm going to post this on the YouTube. I'll drop it in the announcement chats. And I'm going to do this again, because I think this is important for this activity to occur. Right? I want to do this at the end of every single call, because I think just doing it, even if it's something that you do all the time, will have a different impact every time. Drop a 3 in the chat if you guys thought that there was value received on this call. Drop a 3 in the chat if you received value, if you learned something, if you had a paradigm shift, if you had a breakthrough, if there was one phrase that you heard that you needed, right? A lot of 3s in the chats. Now let's switch it up. Drop a 6 in the chat if there's someone on your team who you know if they heard what you heard, their paradigm shift would have occurred. Drop a 6 in the chat if you know there's someone on your team who needed the information today. Now drop a 9 in the chat if you're never going to let your team miss a call again. Right? I do this every time. But was your team on today? Right? So I hope you've become aware of that activity. I hope you guys received value today. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see some of you in Miami this weekend. If you need anything, as always, please reach out to me. Please shoot me a message, and we'll chat soon.